For years, veterans and analysts debated whether the Iowa phenom could live up to the hype. Some doubted her strength, others questioned her longevity. But now, the league's most decorated players are lining up to say what many once refused to admit. Caitlin Clark isn't just living up to expectations, she's redefining them. From Diana Taurasi's shocking reversal to Sue Bird's behind-the-scenes confession, what's happening now proves this isn't just another rising star story. This is the moment women's basketball changed forever. Remember when Diana Taurasi questioned whether Caitlin could handle the physicality and speed of the pros? Those comments didn't just age poorly, and they aged like milk left out in the sun. The reality check came fast, and its name was Caitlin Clark. From the first game she played in the WNBA, it was obvious she wasn't just another talented rookie. She was something entirely new. In her first season alone, she didn't just win Rookie of the Year. She broke an unprecedented 62 records, became the first rookie ever to make the All-WNBA First Team, and single-handedly turned the Indiana Fever into must-watch television. Even with injuries keeping her sidelined for parts of her sophomore year in 2025, her brief appearances were enough to remind the world why she's a generational force. Those 3 logo threes she buried in under 30 seconds against the Liberty, that wasn't a lucky streak. That was skill, confidence, and poise wrapped into one player who seems to bend the game to her will. And she's not the only one who's noticed. Breanna Stewart, a 3-time champion, 2-time MVP, and one of the league's fiercest competitors, was among the first to give Caitlin her flowers. Just a month into her rookie season, Stewart went public praising Clark's impact. She said Caitlin wasn't just meeting the hype, she was surpassing it. For a player like Stewart, who knows what it means to carry the weight of being the league's face, that kind of acknowledgement means everything. She spoke about Caitlin's ability to stretch the floor, elevate her teammates, and force defenses to guard her the moment she crosses half court, something rarely seen in women's basketball. Her words weren't empty compliments. They were a veteran's recognition of a paradigm shift happening in real time. Even now, as Caitlin recovers from injury, Stewart continues to call her return vital for the league's energy. Then came Candace Parker, 2-time MVP, 2-time champion, and now one of the most respected analysts in basketball. Parker didn't just praise Caitlin, she elevated her. On live television, Parker declared that Caitlin hasn't just impacted women's basketball. She's impacted basketball, period. She drew a direct comparison to Steph Curry, calling Clark a showman who has redefined how audiences experience the game. Parker marveled at how Caitlin draws sellout crowds, builds electric rivalries, and creates moments that make fans care, whether they're cheering for her or against her. From a player whose career has defined eras, that isn't flattery. That's acknowledgement from a legend who sees another one forming before her eyes, and Parker wasn't alone. Tina Charles, the league's second all-time leading scorer and 2012 MVP, joined the chorus, calling it a privilege to compete against Clark. Charles, who's seen every iteration of the WNBA's evolution, said that Caitlin has brought something to the sport that can't be measured in stats. An energy, a curiosity, a new wave of fans. She described Clark as a once-in-a-generation talent who's redefining what's possible for female athletes. Coming from someone who's built her legacy on consistency and excellence, that kind of statement carries weight. Then, the story took a deeply emotional turn. Caitlin's childhood idol, Maya Moore, one of the greatest players in WNBA history, re-entered the picture. Moore was the reason a young Caitlin fell in love with basketball. As a kid in Iowa, she once sprinted across a court just to get Moore's autograph. Years later, before Caitlin's final regular season game at Iowa, Moore surprised her in person. The meeting between idol and admirer was pure magic. 2 generations of greatness, one passing the torch to the other. Moore's presence was more than symbolic. It was her way of saying, "I see you. You're carrying it forward." Caitlin has often said that Moore's example taught her to always make time for young fans, to give back to the game the same way her hero once did, and the praise didn't stop there. Nneka Ogwumike, the 2016 MVP and one of the most respected voices in the league, spoke out after the All-Star game. Cameras caught her smiling as she praised Caitlin's professionalism, maturity, and team-first mentality. Ogwumike said, "You can't deny her impact," acknowledging how Clark's influence extends far beyond box scores. For someone known for her thoughtful, measured words, that simple statement said everything. Then came the biggest reversal of them all. Cynthia Cooper, The first ever WNBA MVP and a founding icon of the league, directly countered the critics who had labeled Caitlin overhyped. Cooper called her a complete player, not just a shooter, but a visionary passer, a floor general, and a basketball savant who sees the game at a different speed. Cooper's comments were especially meaningful because they came in response to former players like Cheryl Swoops, who had criticized Clark earlier in the season. Cooper didn't just defend Caitlin, she validated her, saying she reminds her of the greats who built the league in the first place. Even Aja Wilson, often portrayed as Clark's rival, publicly acknowledged her significance. Wilson said Caitlin's rise had brought new eyes, new energy, and new opportunities to the league. That statement mattered because it came from the reigning MVP, the player often positioned as the face of the WNBA. It showed that even among the competition, there's recognition that Clark's influence benefits everyone. Elena Del Don echoed that sentiment, praising Caitlin's basketball IQ and comparing her court vision to the best point guards in history, male or female. Del Don said Clark processes the game like a chess master, seeing plays before they happen. And then, finally, came the two names that stunned everyone, Diana Taurasi and Sue Bird. Taurasi, once one of Caitlin's harshest critics, completely changed her tune. After watching Clark dominate the league, Taurasi admitted she was wrong, that Caitlin had exceeded every expectation and changed the trajectory of women's basketball. Coming from someone as fiery and outspoken as Taurasi, that's more than respect. It's surrender to reality. But Sue Bird's revelation might be the most powerful of all. The retired legend and five-time Olympic gold medalist revealed that she's been quietly mentoring Caitlin behind the scenes, offering advice on handling pressure, media scrutiny, and fame. Bird said her only regret about retiring was never getting to play against Clark. Hearing that from someone who defined an entire generation of point guards felt like history coming full circle. Even with her recent injury setbacks, Caitlin's impact hasn't slowed. In fact, her absence has made her importance even clearer. Viewership drops when she's not on the floor. Ticket sales decline. The buzz fades. Everyone, players, executives, and fans alike, can feel the void. It's proof that Caitlin isn't just another star player. She's the heartbeat of the league's growth. Her jersey sales have shattered records. Her games dominate television ratings. Social media engagement spikes every time she steps on the court. And little girls across America are pulling up from the logo, trying to emulate the same confidence, range, and flair that made Caitlin a household name. Before she arrived, the WNBA was struggling for mainstream recognition. Now she's made it impossible to ignore. Her highlights trend on ESPN, her rivalries make headlines, and her storylines fuel the kind of passion that turns casual viewers into lifelong fans. Caitlin Clark has done what no marketing campaign ever could. She's made women's basketball cool, competitive, and culturally relevant. She's turned the WNBA into a global conversation, and the legends who came before her are finally saying it out loud. She's not just the future of the league. She's the present, and maybe even its savior. If you were shocked by how many legends are now giving Caitlin Clark her flowers, hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss the next chapter in her journey. Which player's endorsement surprised you the most? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And remember, we're witnessing history in real time. Caitlin Clark hasn't just changed women's basketball. She's changed basketball forever.